Hey everybody, Brian Trout here from Mossy Creek Fly Fishing with your fly fishing forecast. The date today is Wednesday, March 31st, last day of March. So I know some of you all are kind of upset with me for being late on this one. I feel like I keep making excuses. I have the best excuse. I was actually guiding for the last 2 days, full days on the water, and I guess nobody else here wanted to step up and do the fly fishing forecast and take my spot. So anyway, apologies. But you're gonna have a forecast now, and it's gonna be a wild one. So it's been pretty nice the last couple of days. Windy, you know, it's March. It's always windy. But big cold front coming through this evening, really big. In fact, high tomorrow of 41, something like that, even colder in the mountains. And we have 2 nights where the lows are going to be in the low 20s and even in the teens up in the mountains. So really cold for April, a lot colder than normal. That'll slow things down, send us back into the winter for like, a couple of days. So if you're looking to get out and fish over the next few days or even over this Easter weekend, the water temps are going to take a little bit of a hit. The hatches will probably be toned down, stunted a little bit. So back to heavy nymphs, jig nymphs, down on the bottom, back to streamer fishing, back to letting things warm up a little bit more in the afternoon, get above freezing and warm back up. So yeah, some of the nice dry fly days we've been having might be gone for a couple, all right? But nice warming trend after that. Looks like maybe a half an inch to even an inch of rain coming today and tonight. Snow showers tomorrow morning. So back on the roller coaster again. We'll find some balance here eventually. But the good news is I was up in the mountains on Monday fishing, taking people fishing for brook trout, and definitely saw the quills. It was a windy day, but about 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon, they really started popping off. Fish really keyed into them. Prior to that, one here, one there on the surface, but just fishing small pheasant tail nymphs under a dry fly or an indicator was really the ticket. Finding concentrated flow. Some of these brook trout streams have these nice broad pools. When the fish aren't biting that well, you want to get to a food funnel, a place where there's faster water. Fish that live in riffles are almost always more active. They have their food whizzing by at 6-7 miles an hour, so they make snap decisions. All right. So find those places and you find a little bit more active fish. All right. Spent yesterday on Mossy, and not a lot of bugs hatching yet. There was a bunch of midges in the morning, but then the winds just started ripping out of the south. Morning was tough. Saw a few fish come up on the random caddis or two. Did what I normally do, which is just drown a caddis, drown an elk hair caddis, put some water in it, put some mud in it, get it to sink, put a little split shot upstream, and send it down to the fish. Let it catch, let it straighten, let it rise, and had some success doing that. It's a lot of fun, really fun way to fish. I always tell people wet flies never stopped working. We just got enamored with bead heads. Bead heads showed up and everybody's like, oh, I got a bead head, and drop it underneath, But fishing a wet fly, particularly in a season of emergers and whatnot, it can be really, really effective. So yeah, still most of the fish being taken on streamers and nymphs. The spring creeks like Mossy, really the first major hatch that's going to kick off is going to be at the end of this month, and that'll be the sulfurs. All right, so for those of you tires out there, start getting your comparadons, your emergers, your sulfurs. Sulfurs will be great for an entire month, but until that really big sulfur hatch hits, it's kind of spotty. All right, in the mountains, as we go into April, you'll start looking for your March browns. It's a bit of a misnomer. People think that March browns hatch around here in March. They don't. They're going to be an April staple, all right, and they're big. So we're finally going to get a size 12 mayfly showing up for the first time. So look for those in the next couple of weeks. Need a little bit warmer water, some warmer nights. Perhaps what will happen next week. Some of the guides here have gotten out on the Shenandoah in the last week or two. Still a little early season, but catching some decent fish. Some of those big fish are going to start moving into position for close to spawning grounds, right? They'll post up and stage and some of the riffles and stuff right near where they plan to fan nests. So you'll start to get a concentration of fish where they've all been just kind of sitting in these pools, really lethargic. If you know your spawning habitat and you know what kind of water they're looking for, and you see some, choppy water, some riffly water, just ledgy water just adjacent to that, that's where they're going to be. And remember, just like all these other fish that spawn, you're going to have to those fish are going to have to put on some calories. They just came out of the winter, didn't eat well. Hens are producing egg. It takes burns calories. The males are going to be working real hard to fan the nest, and then after that keep it clean and keep nest raiders off. So they're going to be burning a ton of energy. So they have this little window after winter before spawn. We call it pre-spawn, and they're going to have to put some calories on. All right. So water levels on the big rivers are pretty good. Hopefully we don't get a total washout from this. This will give us a little bump for a few days. So anyway, a lot going on, starting to enter into some warm water fishing, just the beginning. Had some good dry fly days in the mountains that might get stunted a little bit. Just about to start dry fly season here in the next couple of weeks on the spring creeks. So things are happening. Throw a log of fire, have your last fire of the season over the next couple of days. Hopefully it will be. It'll probably be the last time we get in the low 20s. The last day of frost here historically in the valley is first, second week in May. So we still have some cold nights, but hopefully this will be the last one where it's really cold. All right, I will catch you all next week, and thanks for watching.